Morning everyone. Thought we'd start off with a bit of a house update this morning. It's about 6:30, 7 o'clock. Sun is just making its way up, but I thought I'd give you an update on what we are doing with the house so far, because it's been a while since we've discussed this. It's a bit of a building site, as you can see. We've been busy. So first off, I'm going to create a garden patch at the top here that we can grow stuff. So things like food, potatoes, carrots, that sort of stuff. This is going to be our extended patio, which I've started. At the minute we have this area here, which is lovely, but the problem we've got is where this is situated. Just wander over here. Is obviously the house is here. This is the patio. That over there is our view. So what we're trying to do is basically extend this out here so that we can sit in the evenings out here, and then that becomes our view. Get a nice little pan out there. Let me go into the distance so you can see all of Oxfordshire to the right of the screen, and then Old Town, the church, which is just up here somewhere. It's just there. But we get a nicer view from sitting out here this side than we do back behind the house. So let's wander over here. Obviously we've had our burn, that's the last bit of the wood. The old summer house was just here on some weird little plateau, and then we had a really steep gradient next to it. So I've extended the manhole extension. We've got rid of all the rubble work from over here, so the garden, is a bit more flatter, and then moved all of the concrete that was kind of dumped in this little patch all up onto here, which will act as our hardcore. And then what I intend to do is we build a wall from this section here, from like the edge of the garden there all the way down here, which will tee and corner off onto that section of the wall there. So we'll have a supporting wall holding in the space, which will be our extended patio, and then we'll be moving patio furniture onto the edge. We can have our dinner and look at the view. As we come down the house, kids have now got their trampoline out. They'd love that. I've also levelled off this part of the garden. It probably doesn't look like it from back here, but everything is kind of sloped quite high up in the air. So what I've done is I've used the digger, he's just sat there, to scoop out all of this, flatten it off, and then kind of make a platform, and eventually the trampoline, which is currently there, will move over to here, so we've got a nice flat base for the trampoline. And then obviously our decking, not decking, our patio will be up there. That goes through out there to the field where the deers are. And then we've got to start our planning and application for the garage, which is just here, which we will extend into the hillside and move across. I am looking on moving our little shed down this way. This little wooden one will go, that will get burnt out. I've got a ramp that I'm making for the digger to get up into the front garden, so that we can do the stone removal and carry on with the garden. But yeah, so far this is what we've got. I do want to speak to our neighbour, who's sort of this garden here, because in this section, as you can see, it's just a void of mess. Bramble trees are very thick. There's nothing really done with this edge of garden. And I think we discussed this in the car the other day. That fence there that goes through is kind of where his line is, the neat bit, and it runs all the way up to an edge which is just over there. So it's a huge section of garden that's just an absolute waste at the minute. It's not being used for anything other than the production of bramble bushes. And if I'm honest, I'd like to take it off of him and extend our garden out a bit, so we're squared off all the way up. That would be quite nice if he'd allow me to, but I need to make contact, introduce myself, say hello. But that's it, Monday morning. A little update on the house. Now going to get ready, get off to work, and I will see you in a bit. Morning everyone. It's Monday, 7:28. Just on my way down to the shop. Welcome back to the channel. How are you? You have a good weekend? I did. So after Saturday's exploits of Dan trying to kill himself. Imagine that, drilling through your own hand. What's a penis? We had a little chat yesterday on the phone. Obviously he's had stitches, went to hospital, but he's still using his fingers, still riding his bike. So start the morning off with a GoPro battery. Yeah, so Dan's in. I'm going, obviously, I've got to. But we've got a Toyota Estima coming in first thing, which is having, I think it's having a head unit, Toyota standard harness and fascia on the edges. It is an import, but obviously it's got a Japanese radio, so the FM is not expanded enough. All of the controls are in Japanese. The guy's quite old and just basically looked at it and laughed and went, I don't know what that means. So he was quite worried by the fact that it was an import, and nobody really knows about imports. Except this idiot. And I was like, yeah, that's not a problem, we can do it. Done loads of them. So he's in first thing. But it is a nice Monday morning. So far no rain. We've got more coming, I think. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week is supposed to be wet. Haven't had an update on the van. I don't know how that's doing. I think it was in the paint booth last week, at the end of last week, and I dropped the wiper regulator off, so they should have that to repair. But we're basically getting new front bumper, new wing. The bonnet is being repainted. I'm paying them extra to do that because I want it same colour, and then they are painting the whole side of the van and obviously repairing the front and rear corners, and there'll be new bumper bits as well, and I think there's a new light and other bits and bobs. So there's a lot going on. This week is not as crazy as last week, if I'm honest. A little bit, I know I said that Saturday and then it went mental. It's a little bit more relaxed this week. So we've got time to get back on with Ben's GTR, get that plumbed in, sorted. But yeah, should be good. Should be good. The fucking steering went all heavy then. What was that about? Start messing around, Mr. Seat. Anyway, gonna get off to work and I'll see you in a bit, everyone. Hope you're good, hope you're well. Thank you, Nigel, for the super thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, it won't get spent on Happy Meals, but I might buy some some band-aids for young Dan, or just smack him around the head with a drill. He'll soon learn. See you in a bit, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
Little shitbag.
Welcome back to Monday. I am alive and I've still got most of my digits, so how is everyone? So after my debacle on Saturday, I ended up down at the A&E with nerve and tendon exposed. So they ended up giving me 4 stitches. So viewer discretion is advised. It's not ideal, but I am going to show you. So I've had 4 stitches in my middle finger. So they said that I'd just nicked the nerve, but thankfully I haven't lost all of the feeling in my middle finger, but I have lost a touch in the end. But they've said that might come back, it might not. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll find out at a later stage. I've got to go back into the doctors in about 10 days to go and have the stitches removed. So that will be fun. But yeah, injections in between your fingers as well, right in that soft bit. Yeah, nah, yeah. Don't do injections very well as it is anyway, so when he came over to me and he went, yeah, I've got this little needle I've got to just put in there, I was like, yeah, no, we're gonna do that later. Right, so first one's in though. I've got an Audi A1 for a sub and amp. It's having customer's own equipment, which is an Edge sub, so we've got the old Edge sub from Halfords to go in, so we've got high level input, and power cables and stuff that came with the kit. Thankfully on this one, on the A1s, the battery on the 1.2 engine ones, the battery's actually located in the boot, so it's going to make my life a hell of a lot easier. So I'll get the head unit pulled out of this, get the sound cables ran, and go from there. Alex has just been talking to the customer for the next one, I assume. I'm not quite sure what it's for yet.
Hello.
Hello. Can't say that.
Hello. You order everything. Chinese spare rib, chicken fried rice. You order Chinese food? Oh, we got our food here. It's cold outside. Oh, you fat fuck. You got egg roll, you got dumplings, spare ribs, you got everything. Everything.
So, what is this thing?
Estima.
An estima.
Not to be confused with an enema.
Not to be confused with an enema.
You drive, the other one you stick at your butt.
One of them you drive, the other one you, yeah.
So we've got Japanese edge unit with all of the Japaneseness.
All of the Jap stuff.
Yeah, so we've got some stuff in English and then all of the screen is Japanese. So we are undoing this, taking radio out, putting in a Pioneer 160, utilising as much of this as we can. So the guy's got some Englishness.
Sweet.
Give it.
Although it does smell like a 1990s English pub.
Every Japanese car,
cigarettes
mate, is smoked in. Like, honestly, if you take down, look, like, I'll show you how smoked in this car is, right? And we just remove the key so it's not beeping. Right, watch this. Right. If you get a torch from the side, go and grab the torch.
Mind your fingers, because that's going to close on itself.
Ah, hospital, need stitches.
Need stitches!
Cheers. Right, ready? So, that's what grey the car was. Yeah. And then this is tobacco yellow stained grey.
Wow.
Look at the state of it. Look. Even all the corners are yellow with tar.
Yum.
Every Japanese car has been smoked in by Tsuchi.
By a little Japanese man.
Yeah, and they all do. They all have had some kind of smoke remnants in them. It's like part of the car. You get Japanese wiring, which somebody had a go. It's usually a Autobax Earth kit. There'll be Japanese wiring, switches and plugs that you do not know what does. And then cigarette smoke.
That seemingly does nothing, but is still connected and lights up though.
Yeah, there'll be power something in the car. It's going. There'll be a little mouse right under your seat, and he's just lounge on his chair, going, "Someone's messing with the electrics again."
Turns the light on and off, the TV on and off.
Yeah,
Hang on a minute.
sleeping, it'll be like, "Oh!" Yeah.
So we get on with this one. Alex will get on with this one.
Fun times.
And we'll give you a shout back later on, and we're going to try not to drill any holes in my hand today.
You're trying.
I'm good.
You do. I'm going to smash it around.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try not to, but we will give you a shout back a little bit later on.
If you're feeling like you want to,
Don't.
I can just Edward Scissorhands you right now.
If you feel like you want, just take it off. Just take the little one off. Right. See you soon.
Yakuza,
I'll stand on that end of the cable so it doesn't fucking short out against anything. I can take the end of it up after. That on there. That on there. That on there. Other way, dickhead.
Talking to himself. First sign of insanity, that Dan.
Hey, I've fucking done nuts already.
Right, here we go, everyone. So the Toyota's done. So, God, that brake pedal's a bit soft. Right, so there we go. Estima sorted. Pioneer head unit in. Old Chinese radio, Japanese radio out. There's our Pioneer, so we've got a nice little 160 in here. So we've got microphone at the top there, DAB aerial over there, USB in the glove box there. Job done. Right, let's give him a call, get this one out. And then next one. See you soon.
Hello everyone. So, Audi A1 is all done. So subs are all in the back now, ready to go. Although there is absolutely zero boot space whatsoever. There is nothing left in this boot for anyone to put anything in. But it's done and it works. So we've done a little tune on it, make sure it's not completely overpowering the rest of the system, but obviously it being on a standard head unit and standard speakers, it's drowning out pretty well. We'll get the customer a phone call over, get them to come collect it, and we'll. I think we've got some lunch to go and have. What time is? Well, it's nearly lunchtime.
We hungry.
Nearly lunchtime. Child. We'll give you a shout back after lunch. What have we got in for the afternoon?
Chaser. And Skyline. R35.
R35. Cool. We'll catch up with you soon then. See you in a bit. Bit 10D should be up on top there. Up there, top shelf. Hello everyone. Let me just squeeze past Alex there. So, Nissan GTI is getting a bit more attention, so we are currently playing around with the head unit that we've got to put in. So we've got, what is it, Al? It's a Sony?
RSX9.
RSX9 is what we're putting in this. So we've had to make our own custom fascia kit for this because they don't make one. So we have to keep the standard head unit alive in the back to be able to run the GTR stuff at the top here. So the actual head unit does all the stereo and everything else, also runs this and the sat nav and all the heater controls and all that stuff. So we've got to try and keep that alive, which we've managed to do, and then obviously getting the head unit fitted in there nice and snug and looking a bit swish. So obviously it's not fully fitted yet because we've got to, you know, put everything else back together, but that's somewhat how it's going to look once it's in. Really nice, really cool. So obviously, like I said before, door cards are all done. Speakers in the back are already done. Alex has already showed you those in the parcel shelf. So they're all ready to go. Just need to get the amp and everything else back in, get everything wired and go from there. But progress is good because we've got the head unit in and alive and kept all the GTR stuff alive. So this man is a happy man.
Albeit a bit hot.
Bit hot with a dead leg.
It's alright now.
It's alright then. So we've got to get some bits put in, like bit 10D, the amp, got to put that back in, and this has got to go in there somehow. Yeah, the difficult bit, time consuming bit is done, so it's now just a case of smash it all back together. Wonderful. So we will catch up with you in a little bit, maybe when the Chaser's in the workshop.
No, we're on this all today.
See you soon. Right then people, so it is 20 to 6. We've gotten a lot of progress done on the GTR. It looks pretty good. Alex is having his little break after working like a dog on it. Of course the torch is dead. The fuck? The rear speaker cables are ran. You can just see the end of the connector there. I need to wait until we've got the amp in to be able to connect the last final things up. They are ran through to the back, through the firewall, and into the back and into the parcel shelf with the crossovers. Head unit, we are currently finishing the last little bits. No, it's well, it's not.
We've got the digital cable to put in.
Yeah, we've got digital cable to go in to go with to the bit 10.
Bit 10D.
Bit 10D.
So Toslink optical in, Toslink optical out to optical in.
Into that.
To digital out to digital in.
Into the amplifier, and then the amplifier does all of its magic and goes, yeah, good noise.
Whee!
Alex has decided to have a can of crack right at the end of the day.
I'm going to need it tonight, mate. My head's fried.
It's battered, mate.
But the head unit is in the dash.
Well, no, it's not.
No, the Skyline head unit is now in the dash.
Yes, yeah. The original head unit is in and is buried right at the back in the top of here. So that it like I said earlier, keeps all the GTR stuff alive, keeps all the heater controls working, keeps everything going, and then allows us to piggyback and power our own head unit and get our own sound from that. So
we've got all of that boot space at the bottom.
Yeah, so we've got all this space here to be able to put.
It's going to go down there.
It's going to go in there, is it?
Yeah. So
we're not putting it back where it was.
Nope. That's going to go down at the bottom, out of the way. So we'll have a fibre optic from the Sony into this. Then the digital cables from there going to go straight out to the Audison, then from the Audison back to the Morel and the jail. And it's going to be sick. We're nearly there. We are nearly there. And then we've got to look at the BCM.
Yeah.
But that's a Nissan thing. We can't do that.
We can just put it in and then take it to them and they go, yeah, okay.
Get it running and sounding mint and then be like, hey, Nissan.
Code this thing for us.
Do this thing.
Do this little bit and then we can go from there.
Yeah, not far off now.
But that's it for the day, I think, isn't it? We had the sub and amp on the A1, lots of problems with the Edge sub. So, did you tell them camera about it?
No.
No, so after our little bit where we said it was all done and ready to go and we were going to call the customer, I got back in it to drive the car out, and then the sub went into protect mode. Wasn't sure why. All of the wiring and everything was all good and all where it's supposed to be, and I hadn't done anything wrong. But the... It's not a first. It's not a first, but it definitely won't be the last. Yeah, the actual amp itself didn't like having a high-level input put into it.
No.
So we had to then take the speaker cables we'd made and put into the high-level input plug, cut the ends off, put RCAs on there. Kissel, thank you. I was trying to think of the word for it. Put a kicker kissel on there and then plug it into the RCA inputs. And it worked mint. Didn't go into protect mode once. So, yeah, solved that issue. What else did we have in? You did the Toyota... What was it? Toyota thing? People carrier?
The Toyota Estima.
Estima, there you go. That was a head unit.
Enema.
Oh, that was it, yeah, the Enema. You did an Enema.
The Toyota shit washer.
Got that finished up. And then what have we got in tomorrow?
Oh,
Loads of stuff.
Let's look at that tomorrow. We've got to make something tomorrow. We've got that Toyota that doesn't have a head unit.
Toyota that doesn't have a head unit?
Fascia. Yeah, it doesn't have a head unit. It's that big one, the Alpine one. So
yes.
So we've got Jaguar fascia, which I'm going to chop down to fit in the Toyota dash. We've got Toyota C leads, which is a mixture of everything and can leads. Pioneer to go in.
9200, isn't it?
I don't know. There's a whole load of stuff going.
Don't worry about it now. Let's think about it tomorrow.
Let's have a tidy up and then.
And then get the cars in. Let's go. See you all soon.